Hi, how are you doing? This is Pastor Cheryl. We are still in a Bible study, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and we're into scriptures, a section called Warning Against Self-Deception. I want you to figure out how this is being self-deceptive, okay? This little section here, Matthew, Luke. Matthew's got most of it filled in. Luke's got everything but this big section down here, and he's got a different twist on it. So I will read both of them to you because Matthew is different this time. Not everyone who says to me, this is Matthew 7:21 through 23. And I'll write this down for you. I'll write it down and I'll put it, and you'll see it underneath the title of this video. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do many mighty works in your name? And then will I declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you evil doers. Then there's this gap down here. See where I colored it in? And peach color there? Now we'll read Luke. And he has a gap in there too. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not what I tell you? Then there's this big gap. You see that big gap? Then we jump down here. Then you will begin to say, we ate and drank in your presence, and you taught in your streets. But he will say, I tell you, I do not know where you come from. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. Okay. So, in other words, there'll be people involved in the church that will not be believers. They will be involved in the church. And we have that in our church too, where I keep hoping that they catch on. And I think they just get involved for the sake of being involved. But there is one person in particular, I don't think he believes. I really don't know that he does. And so I kind of wonder about that. But, when you ask him, he definitely does. So we'll leave it up to God, okay? But in big churches, you'll have committees. And there's always some families or some people in a church that get involved in everything. And they run the church. They like to run the church. And that is where you're going to see the biggest expression of the devil, and evil. You could say the devil sits in the front pew. And those are the people that, get the most involved in the church. And they cause trouble. They cause trouble. I could tell you stories, but it's always the devil that sits in the front pew. And then there are people that just do nasty stuff to you and swear up and down that they're Christians. Like the guy that owns the house across the street from our chapel, and he closed down the road. And had the city put up a roadblock in front of the chapel. Swears up and down he's a Christian. I think he's very, very strange. And he has a tendency to have temper tantrums, and when the elderly people in my group, especially the ones that are white hair, he runs out and screams at them and uses profanity when they go to our chapel meetings. And we think he's possessed. I really do. He said, there's the devil. That's him right there. Swear up and down, that's what he's like. And he uses a lot of profanity and, comes out and, growls and whatever and just yells and is, oh, wow. And so I bought everybody in the church, because they're handicapped and elderly people, keychain mace. a whole box of it. And I ordered it from Amazon. It happened to come when we were all sitting on my front porch having a picnic because it was raining outside. And so I thought, that's God. That's God for you. They delivered it in the rain. So everybody got their little bottle, and I says, Christians are being attacked worldwide. They're being attacked. And things are happening to Christians. In Africa, they're chopping off their heads in their churches. They're killing them. And then Christians are being, persecuted elsewhere, locked up in jail for their belief, and then just actually physically attacked, assaulted. And so having a little bit of safety, a little something in their pocket with their keys on it is probably a good thing. So, and I'm a big believer in Mace. My brother was an MP for years in the Army, and he says he's a big believer in Mace because he has to deal with people. He has to handle people and deal with them. And now he's a chaplain for the Veteran Association. And so he's the chaplain for them. He still is carrying mace. He still dresses up, the real impressive, his dress uniform with all the badges, his achievements. It reads like a resume, And, but anyway, he still carries mace on him. So, I'm a big believer in it too. Because, I run into people that are dangerous. I really, really do. I really do. Did I tell you about the story of the crazy man in the back of the bus? Oh my gosh. Anyway. So these people, apparently in the scripture, believe that they are Christians. They probably help run the church. They say, Lord, Lord. Okay? And they pray with the bunch of them, but they apparently really don't believe. There are people like this, Why get involved in a church if you don't believe? I don't get it. But anyway, tomorrow we will go on from this scripture, this page. Next page over, it'll be hearers and doers of the word. This is Matthew 7:24. So we'll do this tomorrow. And we'll see you. Bye-bye.